Dear spectators of the human tragedy, in a world where smiles are painted masks, I see the truth beneath. Each face I encounter is like a cracked porcelain doll, crafted to perfection, yet harboring emptiness within. These masks, adorned with laughter and light, hide the shadows of despair, the secrets that twist in the darkness. It's a grand masquerade, and everyone plays their part, but I refuse to join their dance. Instead, I become the mirror, reflecting their falsehoods back at them, exposing the raw flesh beneath the artifice. The journey of an anti-hero is not one of glory, it is a descent into the abyss. In embracing my own flaws, I have gained the sight to pierce through the illusions others cling to. They wear their masks with pride, believing themselves invulnerable, but the weight of their deceit is a burden too heavy to bear. I have walked among them, watched them laugh, while their hearts withered in silence. The moment I unveiled my own scars, the world around me shifted. Suddenly, the air thickened with the tension of truth, and in that charged space, I could see their facades begin to tremble. I remember the first revelation, a moment etched in my mind like a brand. It was a lie so grand, so intricately woven into the fabric of our lives, that it took my breath away. A friend, or so I thought, spinning tales of success while drowning in failure. The truth spilled from my lips like acid, corrosive and painful. I did not relish the act, rather, I reveled in the clarity it brought. As the lies unraveled, I watched the light fade from their eyes, replaced by the cold reality of exposure. They stood there, stripped bare, and in that moment, I felt the intoxicating rush of power. I had become the storm, turning their calm seas into chaos. But the reaction was not what I had anticipated. Instead of anger, I found fear, a palpable, knowing fear of being unmasked. Their vulnerabilities, now laid bare, hung between us like a noose. They recoiled, not from the truth itself, but from the reflection it cast upon their souls. Their masks, once their shield, became prisons, trapping them in their own deceit. I could see the cracks widen, and inside those fractures, I glimpsed their despair. The very act of exposing them became a double-edged sword, cutting through the silence, yet leaving them wounded and vulnerable. As I walk this dark path, I realize that truth is both a weapon and a curse. It has the power to liberate, yet it chains those who hide in the shadows. Their reactions remind me of a caged beast, thrashing against the bars, desperate to escape the light. They lash out, not understanding that their fight is with themselves. I am merely the harbinger of their own reckoning, the echo of their darkest fears. And in this twisted game, I find satisfaction not in their pain, but in the clarity of my vision. Life is a stage, and we are all actors. But when the curtain falls and the lights dim, what remains? Beneath the glitz and glamour lies a hollow darkness, a truth too terrifying to face. I have embraced my flaws, my darkness, and in doing so, I have stripped away the masks of those around me. I challenge you to look deeper, to peel back the layers of your own existence. What do you hide behind your smile? What truths do you bury beneath the weight of expectations? The moment you dare to confront your own shadows is the moment you begin to understand the power of your truth. Only then can you walk free, unbound by the chains of deceit that bind the rest. In the dim light of deception, truth stands like a blazing torch, illuminating the shadows where lies thrive. It cuts through the air with a chilling clarity, both a weapon and a shield, wielded by those brave enough to bear its scorching flame. Words have the power to weave new realities or tear apart the facade that people clothe themselves in. For some, truth is a dagger, sharp and unforgiving, while for others, it is a blunt instrument, smashing through the brittle veneer of falsehoods. The silence that follows the revelation is more profound than the loudest of screams. Moments of confrontation are electric. I remember staring into the eyes of a man cloaked in arrogance, his confidence a mask that shimmered like gold. I approached him, every step a whisper of impending doom. The air thickened with anticipation. "Tell me," I said, my voice a low growl, "how does it feel to swim in a sea of your own lies?" The room held its breath, caught between the reality of his deception and the truth I laid bare. His smile faltered, cracking like ice underfoot, and I reveled in that brief moment of vulnerability, that fleeting glimpse of his true self. The fallout was immediate and fierce. Pain erupted in the form of accusations, anger spilling forth like a volcano awakened. They lash out, not at me, but at the truth that blindsided them. Stinging words are hurled, desperate attempts to reassert control, to hide behind a wall of defensiveness. Yet, as I stand there, unmoved, I feel the weight of their despair settle around us like a thick fog. Anger masks fear, but beneath it lies a trembling truth. Their world is crumbling, and they are powerless to stop it. Emotional fallout is a landscape littered with the remnants of shattered egos. In the aftermath of my revelations, I witnessed the transformation of once proud figures into shadows of their former selves. They wander through their lives, haunted by the echoes of their lies. Their pride, once a towering fortress, has become a crumbling ruin. I find satisfaction not in their misery but in the clarity I have gained. I am the storm that uproots their flimsy constructs, exposing the raw earth beneath. With each confrontation, I strip away the layers, unveiling the truth buried deep within the wreckage. The darkness that engulfs them becomes a mirror reflecting their own misdeeds. They are no longer the puppeteers, but the puppets, strings severed and flailing in chaos. In their fragile state, I see the potential for rebirth, yet they cling to their pain as if it were a lifeline. They fear the exposure of their true selves, for to be unmasked is to be vulnerable, and vulnerability is a weakness they cannot afford. But I know better. I have danced in that darkness, embraced it, and emerged stronger. As I navigate this twisted reality, I realize that truth is an alchemical force. It can transmute despair into strength, chaos into clarity. I am not merely a harbinger of destruction, I am a catalyst for transformation. Those who dare to confront their shadows may find the power to rise from the ashes of their own making. My satisfaction lies in this paradox, that while my revelations may fracture their world, they also hold the keys to their liberation. In the end, it is the truth that binds us, even as it tears us apart. The struggle to maintain the illusion will always be a battle waged in the dark. But for those willing to embrace the light, to face the jagged edges of their existence, there is a fire waiting to be ignited. As I stand before the ruins of their facades, I challenge them to look deeper, to confront the chaos within. Only then can they begin to understand the true power of their vulnerabilities and the strength that lies in authenticity. In this dance of shadows and light, I am both the executioner and the savior, and in this duality, I find my purpose. Perfection is a cruel mistress, a shimmering illusion that beckons us closer, only to reveal the hollow cord that resides within. Society, with its relentless gaze, demands we adorn ourselves with masks, sculpting our faces into grotesque parodies of happiness and success. Beneath the bright veneer lies a chasm of despair, a void where authenticity is sacrificed on the altar of expectation. The lights may dazzle, but they cast long shadows where the truth festers, hungry for exposure. In this twisted theater of existence, the cost of deceit is steep. Each lie is a brick in the fortress of falsehood, built high to shield against the storms of reality. Yet, as the wind howls and the rains fall, that very structure becomes a prison, isolating those within its walls. They wander through their carefully curated lives, but with every passing day, the walls inch closer, squeezing the breath from their lungs. The irony is palpable. What was meant to protect has become their greatest tormentor. Loneliness is the uninvited guest that arrives with every deception. It seeps into the cracks of their carefully constructed facades, whispering reminders of the connection they've sacrificed. There is no warmth in a life built on lies, only the cold embrace of isolation. Each encounter becomes a performance, a dance where the steps are choreographed by fear and insecurity. The laughter shared feels hollow, the smiles carved from the same stone that encases their hearts. Expectations weigh heavy, pressing down until the masks threaten to shatter. The world demands perfection, and in that relentless pursuit, people lose themselves. They become actors in a play that has no script, improvising lines that never quite fit. The more they wear the mask, the more they forget the contours of their true selves. They become strangers in their own skin, trapped in a labyrinth of their making, where every turn leads to a deeper level of despair. From my vantage point, I see the beauty in this turmoil. The chaos, the desperation, they are harbingers of truth waiting to be unveiled. I have walked the path of darkness, embraced the flaws that others shun, and in doing so, I have uncovered the raw power hidden beneath the surface. I am not afraid of the shadows. I have danced with them, learned their secrets, and now I wield that knowledge like a blade. The anti-hero's perspective is one of clarity amidst the fog. I know why people choose to deceive themselves and others. It is a coping mechanism, a way to shield their fragile hearts from the harshness of reality. But in their quest for acceptance, they become architects of their own suffering. When the masks slip, when the facade crumbles, they are left exposed, vulnerable and raw. It is in that moment, when the illusion breaks, that the true battle begins. The inevitable collapse of their carefully constructed lives is not the end, it is a beginning. In that destruction lies the potential for rebirth. They can choose to rise from the ashes or remain shackled by their own fears. I stand at the edge of their chaos, watching with a mixture of anticipation and pity. They have the power to dismantle the walls they built and embrace the imperfections that make them human. As I reflect on the weight of their deceit, I am filled with a dark satisfaction. I understand the loneliness that accompanies their choices, yet I also see the flicker of hope buried deep within their souls. The courage to confront their truths is the first step toward liberation. And while the path may be fraught with pain, it is in that struggle that they will discover the strength they never knew they possessed. In this world of masks and mirages, I challenge you to strip away the layers. Embrace the beauty of your flaws, for it is in those cracks that the light shines through. Let the weight of expectations fall away and step into the shadows with me. There, in the depths of your vulnerability, you will find the power to reclaim your truth and ignite a fire that cannot be extinguished. The darkness is not your enemy, it is your ally, waiting to guide you back to yourself. Power is a deceptive whisper, a seductive song that lulls the heart into a false sense of security. It cloaks itself in the finest silks, parading around as if it were a crown, when, in truth, it is a heavy shackle. Those who grasp for it often find themselves ensnared, their fingers sticky with ambition, their souls stained by the relentless pursuit of dominance. The illusion of control is a mirage, shimmering just beyond reach, yet tantalizing enough to drive one to madness. As the mask of authority slips, the cracks begin to show. Pride swells in the hearts of the powerful, inflating egos like balloons filled with hot air. But every inflated facade carries the weight of impending collapse. I've watched as titans of industry, those revered and feared, have tripped over their own hubris. Each misstep is a note in the symphony of their downfall, a crescendo that echoes through the corridors of their crumbling empires. They look down upon the common man, convinced of their superiority, only to discover that the very ground they stand on is nothing but quicksand. In this theater of deception, I play the role of the observer, the anti-hero who dances in the shadows, waiting for the moment when the proud will fall. I've seen the glint of desperation in their eyes when the truth closes in, like a predator stalking its prey. The moment of confrontation is electric, the air thick with tension as words become daggers, piercing through the armor of deceit. They squirm under the weight of their lies, Their faces a canvas of confusion and rage, unable to reconcile their constructed identities with the reality I lay before them. The emotional fallout is a tempest that swirls, leaving chaos in its wake. Pain unfurls like a dark flower, blooming in the hearts of those who thought they could hide behind their facades. Anger erupts like a volcano, spewing forth the molten core of their fury, directed at anyone who dares to reveal their naked truth. They lash out, desperate to maintain control, yet it is in that very moment of exposure that their power dissipates like smoke in the wind. Yet, I find satisfaction in this unraveling. Amidst the chaos, a strange beauty emerges, the beauty of authenticity clawing its way to the surface. The shattered illusions are a testament to the strength found in vulnerability. As they stand stripped bare, I witness the rawness of their humanity. It is a theater of the grotesque, but within that grotesquerie lies the promise of rebirth. In the wake of their collapse, I see the flicker of hope. They have the choice to rebuild, to weave a new narrative that embraces their flaws instead of hiding behind them. I am not the villain in their story. I am the catalyst that ignites the spark of change. I revel in this role, finding power in the shadows where others fear to tread. The inevitable collapse of their carefully constructed lives is a moment of reckoning, a crucible that tests their resolve. For those who dare to face the truth, a new path unfolds, a path littered with the remnants of their past, yet illuminated by the fires of newfound courage. The darkness, once a shroud, transforms into a sanctuary where they can finally breathe, free from the suffocating weight of pretense. So, I stand here, inviting you to witness the unraveling. Embrace the chaos that follows the exposure of truth. Dance with your shadows, and let them guide you through the wreckage of your pride. The masks will fall, and in that moment, you will be left with the raw, unfiltered essence of who you are. It is in that vulnerability, in the acceptance of your flaws, that true power lies. Strip away the illusions, for only then can you reclaim your narrative and forge a destiny that is unapologetically your own. In a world painted with the hues of deception, the most exquisite art is that of imperfection. Flaws are not the curses we have been led to believe, they are the very threads that weave the fabric of our existence. Each scar, each misstep, is a story waiting to be told, a battle fought in the shadows of our hearts. The pursuit of perfection is a treacherous path, littered with the bones of those who dared to suppress their true selves, believing that a mask could shield them from the demons lurking within. The beauty of imperfection lies in its rawness, its unapologetic nature. When we peel back the layers of our facades, we step into the light of authenticity, a light that reveals the truth in all its glorious chaos. It is here that we discover resilience, a power that springs forth from the depths of our vulnerability. Each moment of weakness is not a defeat, but a testament to our humanity, a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles. I remember the day I embraced my own flaws, standing before a mirror that reflected not just my image, but the shadows of my past. The whispers of doubt tried to drown out the truth, but in that silence, I found strength. I began to understand that the very things I had once tried to hide were the keys to my liberation. It was a metamorphosis, shedding the skin of expectation to reveal the raw, pulsing heart beneath. As I ventured into the world, I noticed others, lost souls wandering beneath their own masks. Their smiles were painted on, bright and dazzling, yet their eyes were hollow, void of the light that comes from embracing one's truth. I saw the loneliness in their laughter, the fear in their words, and it ignited a fire within me. I became a mirror for them, reflecting their true selves back into the light, challenging them to drop their shields and stand in their authenticity. The journey of self-acceptance is not for the faint of heart, it is a treacherous climb up a mountain of expectations, where each step taken reveals a new layer of oneself. Those who choose to confront their flaws find a beauty that transcends the superficial. They discover that strength does not come from being unbreakable, but from the courage to stand tall despite the cracks that run through them. The anti-hero in me revels in this truth, for I have witnessed the transformation that occurs when one dares to embrace their imperfections. And yet, the world is a harsh judge, quick to scorn those who dare to be real. Society clings to an ideal image, a mirage that entraps the unsuspecting. But I stand as a testament to the power of defiance. I challenge you to shed your masks, to strip away the layers crafted from fear and expectation. It is in the acceptance of your flaws that you will find true power, a force that cannot be silenced. Imagine a world where authenticity reigns, where the scars we bear are not hidden but celebrated. This is the vision I see, a world where vulnerability is a badge of honor, where we gather not in judgment but in acceptance. The fire within you, the one that ignites when you embrace your truth, can light the way for others lost in the shadows. You hold the key to your own liberation. Embrace your flaws. Wear them with pride. The world may try to tear you down, but remember this: in the darkest corners of existence, it is your truth that will shine the brightest. So, rise from the ashes of your deception and step into the light of your own reality. Let the world bear witness to the power of your authenticity, for it is in that power that you will find the strength to confront not just yourself, but the very fabric of the world around you. In the hollow chambers of existence, where shadows dance like phantoms on the walls of our minds, the weight of deceit lingers like a lingering fog. Each lie is a chain, binding us to a reality that feels increasingly distant, a mirage shimmering just out of reach. The truth, however, is a relentless tide, crashing against the shores of our carefully constructed facades, eroding the illusions we cling to so desperately. The consequences of deceit are insidious. They creep into the corners of our lives, wrapping their cold fingers around our hearts, squeezing until the breath of authenticity is suffocated. We become mere shells of ourselves, trapped in a labyrinth of our own making, where each turn leads deeper into the darkness. The cost of wearing a mask is steep, and many pay with their sanity, their joy, their very souls. Loneliness is the cruelest companion for those who live cloaked in pretense. Surrounded by a crowd yet utterly isolated, they walk through life like ghosts, their laughter hollow, their smiles mere shadows of genuine emotion. I have seen this isolation, this fear of exposure, in the eyes of those who have chosen the path of deceit. They wear their masks like armor, convinced that vulnerability is a weakness, when in fact, it is the rawest form of strength. In their quest for acceptance, these masked individuals build fortresses around their hearts, but those walls become prisons. They fear the world will not love them as they truly are, so they hide behind their facades, crafting a persona that the world will adore. But admiration built on lies is as fleeting as a whisper in the wind. When the truth finally breaks through, it shatters the illusion and leaves them standing naked in the cold light of reality. I know this pain intimately. I have stood in the shadows, watching as the masks of others cracked under the weight of their own deception. The moment of revelation is a double-edged sword, a beautiful chaos that unfolds as secrets spill into the open. The exposed individuals react in a whirlwind of emotions: anger, shame, despair. They lash out, desperate to protect the fragments of their shattered identities. But it is too late. The truth has emerged, relentless and unyielding, leaving destruction in its wake. Yet, in this chaos, I find a perverse satisfaction. There is beauty in the collapse of facades, a clarity that comes when the dust settles. The anti-hero within me revels in the truth that has been unveiled, for it is in this rawness that real connections can be forged. I stand amidst the wreckage, watching as the remnants of lies crumble, and I see the potential for rebirth. The solitude that follows the exposure of deceit is a bitter pill to swallow. It lingers like a ghost, a reminder of the choices made and the masks worn. But it is also a fertile ground for reflection, a moment to delve deep into the shadows of the self. Here, amidst the loneliness, lies an opportunity to reconnect with one's true essence, to peel back the layers of deception and emerge reborn. Connection in this world of shadows feels like a distant dream, yet it is the very thing we crave. Beneath the hardened shells, beneath the cracks in the masks, there is a yearning for understanding, for acceptance. We are all flawed creatures, stumbling through the darkness, searching for a flicker of light. But this light begins within. It is the fire that ignites when we dare to confront our truths, when we shed the weight of our lies and step into the open. So I challenge you, dear listener, to look into the abyss of your own existence. What shadows lurk there? What truths have you hidden beneath layers of artifice? Embrace the solitude of your shadows, for within that darkness lies a path to connection. The world may be filled with deceit, but it is also filled with the potential for authenticity. Choose to shatter your mask, to confront the loneliness that comes with it. In doing so, you may just find the courage to forge the connections you so desperately seek. The journey is fraught with pain, but in the depths of your truth, you will uncover the strength that lies within. In the depths of night, when the world is stripped of its pretense, the echoes of our choices linger like the remnants of a haunting melody. Shadows stretch across the landscape of our souls, whispering the truths we dare not speak. Each flicker of light reveals the cracks in our facades, and within that illumination lies a power so profound it can ignite a fire within. This is the moment when we must confront the hollow spaces we've filled with lies, the emptiness that gnaws at our hearts. Take a moment, if you will, to reflect on your own life. What masks have you donned to fit into a world that demands perfection? Perhaps you wear a smile that doesn't reach your eyes, a facade polished to a sheen, hiding the chaos beneath. The call to action is not just a plea, it is a demand for authenticity in a realm that thrives on deception. Embrace your vulnerabilities, for it is in the cracks of your armor that the light can seep through, illuminating the path to genuine connection. Words are powerful, weapons that can cut through the noise of pretense. Your truth can be a double-edged sword, slicing through the layers of artifice that suffocate your spirit. When you summon the courage to speak your truth, the weight of that honesty becomes a shield, protecting you from the slings and arrows of judgment. In vulnerability lies the strength to forge bonds that transcend the superficiality of masks. Open up and watch as the walls crumble, revealing the raw beauty of connection. Imagine a world where authenticity reigns supreme, where the masks we wear no longer dictate our worth. Picture a society that celebrates flaws, embraces imperfections, and recognizes the strength found in vulnerability. This vision is not a distant dream, it can be our reality if we dare to dismantle the facades we've built. It requires a collective awakening, or rebellion against the tyranny of illusion that binds us. Yet, even as we yearn for this change, the journey is fraught with peril. Each step toward authenticity can feel like stepping into a chasm where the ground beneath us shifts and trembles. The fear of exposure looms large, threatening to swallow us whole. But remember, the fire within you is born from the very darkness that seeks to consume. It is the fierce and untamed spirit that rises from the ashes of deceit, a phoenix ready to take flight. I challenge you to embrace your shadows, to dance with the darkness that has haunted your footsteps. Stand tall amidst the chaos and recognize that in your imperfections lies the essence of what makes you human. The scars of your journey are not blemishes, they are the battle wounds of a warrior who has fought against the tide of conformity. Wear them proudly, for they are the markers of your truth, the stepping stones toward genuine connection. As you navigate this tumultuous path, know that you are not alone. Many wander through the labyrinth of deceit, seeking solace in the shared experience of vulnerability. Reach out, forge connections with those who dare to reveal their truths. Together, you can ignite a fire that burns away the facade of perfection, illuminating the beauty of imperfection that lies within each of us. The time has come to dismantle the masks that bind us. As the shadows recede and the light breaks through, let the fire within you roar to life. Stand unyielding in your truth, for it is here that the power of vulnerability lies. The world may be filled with deceit, but within the hearts of those who dare to embrace their flaws lies the promise of connection. So rise, ignite that fire, and let your truth be the catalyst for change. The journey is yours to take. Step boldly into the light. Embrace the shadows that linger in your life. Share this message if you believe that true strength is forged in the depths of darkness. Leave a comment about a moment when you turned your pain into power, transforming your struggles into a weapon against conformity. Subscribe for more raw, unfiltered insights that challenge the status quo. Remember, the world may demand masks, but it's in the absence of light that we find our true selves. Rise from the ashes and let your truth cut through the chaos.